Good afternoon, and thank you for joining us on Newswave. I'm Devin Karp, and today is Friday, October 23rd, 2020. This is our second remote broadcast of the semester, and we're so happy to bring you the news that you need. Now, here are today's top stories. Trinity University has completed its first and second rounds of COVID surveillance testing, now totaling 350 tests between both rounds. The results are being monitored by the Nerve Center and are compared to the threshold set in August to see if changes to procedures on campus need to be made. These thresholds were chosen based on research by public health officials, then adapted to Trinity's specific circumstances. There are 5 threshold indicators listed on Trinity's COVID webpage, and they include doubling rate, positivity rate, health system stress score, number of on-campus student cases, and number of on-campus employee cases. Tess Cootie-Anders, Vice President for Strategic Communications and Marketing and co-chair of the Nerve Center, stated that if the positivity rate approached 5%, that's a definite we're going to change operational activities on campus. The university's main limiting factor is how many rooms are available on campus for quarantine or isolation. Cootie-Anders stated, "We're bound by the fact that we only have so many rooms on campus available. That being said, so far, we found that we are able to allow the majority of students to quarantine in their own room, and that gives us more capacity." As of October 14th, only 12 students have used the rooms in Murchison for quarantine or isolation. The university's Health and Wellness Working Group meets twice weekly to monitor threshold indicators and discuss changes. In other local San Antonio news, a man was hospitalized and is in critical condition last Friday, October 16th, after being struck by 2 vehicles while trying to cross Loop 410. According to SAPD, the first vehicle hit the man and pulled over to assist, while the second vehicle did not stop at the scene, instead exiting 410 to get help at a local store. The incident has been ruled as an accident, and neither drivers have been charged. On Tuesday, October 13th, Mad Hatter's Tea House Cafe announced that they would be retiring after 20 years of service. According to San Antonio Business Journal, Bar Loretta will be taking over in their place. Bar Loretta founder Roger Ayre also told the San Antonio Business Journal that the new concept has been in the works for over a year and is set to open sometime in 2021. The Tea House said on their Facebook page, "To our customers, staff, family, friends, and neighbors, thank you. We won't say goodbye because with every end, there's only a new beginning." While students adjust to online learning, whether that be on campus or off, faculty are adjusting to their own set of changes that comes with teaching from home. Many Trinity professors have the added responsibility of looking after their children, ensuring that they continue to get education while also ensuring that their students receive the quality education they deserve. English professor Kelly Carlisle juggles teaching 3 courses and 2 young children, ages 9 and 5, who are doing online schooling themselves. Carlisle says that it's the constant interruption of sitting down to work, starting to focus, and then suddenly there's someone on your lap or tugging on your sleeve. University choral director Gary Safeman decided to take an unconventional route and homeschool his children, adding the stress of working full-time as a university professor while also teaching his own kids. With all of the stress this pandemic has contributed to our lives, Safeman offers much-needed advice, saying that we need to be a little easier on ourselves. Forgiveness is not only a gift that you can give yourself, but a gift that makes everyone's life a little bit easier.
It started before dawn.
Everybody's come out to vote here. Lines around the corner.
Thousands of people waiting hours for early in-person voting.
I just came out, so I would say about 2.5 hours.
And drive-through voting in Texas Tuesday. In Harris County, which includes Houston, the highest turnout during early voting ever. And that count came hours before the polls even closed, with lines still out the door. All the enthusiasm after waking up to news of a late-night ruling upholding Republican Governor Greg Abbott's directive limiting ballot drop boxes to 1 per county. A major issue for densely populated counties where voters could spend more than an hour driving just to cast their vote.
More than 50 miles in some cases to drop off their mail ballot. It's unfair, it's prejudicial, and it's dangerous.
Good morning, everyone.
The day not without mishaps.
We are aware of some glitches in our voting system.
Fort Bend County now extending voting hours by 2 hours this week to compensate for lengthy waits due to widespread voting issues. It came a day after a similar start in Georgia, where voters waited for hours to cast their ballots.
I want to be out here and to be able to share my voice.
Georgia setting an early voting record with nearly 127,000 ballots cast on day one. Tuesday, no different. More voters, more long lines. In Gwinnett County, some voters sitting in line for 8 hours, determined to be heard no matter the obstacles.
So many people have sacrificed before us, so it's almost a spin in their face if we don't take the time to show our kids that they have this right and it's best used as early as possible.
More than 10.5 million Americans have already cast their ballots in this election, 6 million of them in the most competitive states in the country. In the battleground state of Ohio, more than 193,000 people already voting early in person, tripling the roughly 64,000 at the same time in 2016.
After President Trump dropped out of the second scheduled presidential debate because of its planned virtual format, both he and Democratic nominee Vice President Joe Biden participated in competing town halls on different networks that occurred at the same time. Trump took questions from voters in Miami, Florida, in an event moderated by NBC News anchor Savannah Guthrie, while ABC News anchor George Stephanopoulos moderated Biden's event in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Both candidates faced tough questions from audience members as well as follow-ups from the moderators on key issues such as the coronavirus outbreak, police reform, and the Supreme Court. After the town halls, only one presidential debate remains before Election Day on November 3rd. Well, we're now taking it over to Kyle for all things sports.
Welcome back, Tigers. This is Kyle Anderson, bringing you all things sports. We start with the cancellation of fall sports here at Trinity. Volleyball, cross country, football, and golf will not play in the fall of 2020 and hope to begin their seasons in the spring of 2021. The SCAC released a statement over summer announcing that the NCAA will not conduct any type of athletic competitions, including conference and non-conference competitions. This is due to the concerns with the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. However, college athletics cash cow, football, plows ahead with their season despite health and safety concerns. All Power 5 conferences have started their seasons or plan to start in the coming weeks with a limited number of fans at games. Proceeding with the college football season presents risks, with COVID outbreaks occurring at a number of blue-chip programs like Baylor and Florida, where a handful of players and staff tested positive for the virus, including Florida head coach Dan Mullen. Here at Trinity, athletes continue practicing and conditioning in hopes of competing this spring. Soccer, among other winter sports, plan to play a conference-only schedule this spring, with the NCAA canceling all fall and winter tournaments. Meanwhile, athletes continue to train on campus while abiding by the university's COVID guidelines, which include the use of face masks, social distancing, and vigilant sanitation of equipment. That's all I have for you this week. This is Kyle Anderson reminding you to stay safe, stay healthy, and back to you in studio, Devin.
Thanks, Kyle. It's spooky season, and we've got some Halloween safety tips that you may want to know. Metro Health has released guidelines for celebrating a safe Halloween this year in San Antonio. For trick-or-treating parties, Metro Health advises you to stay home if you're sick, and people who do decide to go out should wear face masks. It should be noted that a Halloween mask does not count as a face covering. Additionally, group sizes should be limited only to your household members, and people should stay 6 feet apart from each other. If you choose to pass out candy, it's recommended to leave individually wrapped goodie bags or candy on a disinfected table at the end of your driveway or yard so that trick-or-treaters don't have to come to your front door. In a recently released statement, Mayor Ron Nirenberg said if we continue working together to stop the spread of COVID-19, our community will be able to safely enjoy Halloween and other holidays this year. Well, that's all the time we have this week. Make sure to tune into Newswave every Friday at 2:30 p.m. on our YouTube and Vimeo channels. Now, before I sign off, I would like to encourage all of our viewers at home to go out and please vote this election year. Early voting in Texas is already underway, and there are many important issues and conversations that need to be had that are on the ballot. It is our right to voice our opinions and participate in a democracy. Visit vote.org for information on registration, polling locations, locating a drop box near you, and important issues on your ballot. I'm Devin Karp, and we'll see you right here next week.